Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Maths Made Easy with Terry in 10 minutes. So I'll be talking about the points of intersection in line equation. We just finished the perpendicular line. I also talked about parallel lines. So we're going to talk about points of intersection. So please make sure you review previous video before coming to this. And also, if you have any question, feel free to send me a message and I'll get back to you. Also, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so when I post new videos, you'll be the first person to know. All right. So when two lines intersect on a two-dimensional graph, they usually meet at one point. So usually described by a set of x and y coordinates. So for instance, if we have this line, AB, and we have another line, CD. It's a two-dimensional graph, and you can see that they both meet at this point here. Let's call this point I. All right. So like I told you, the point I is going to have its own coordinates, which is going to be xi and yi. Does that make sense? It has its own coordinates. So as usual, like I said in the previous video, let's call the equation of line AB, y1, and the equation of line CD, y2. So we can now say y1 is equal to m1 x1 plus c1, equation of line AB, and y2 is going to be m2 x2 plus c2, equation of line CD, okay? Now, and both of them, they meet at point I, which has a coordinate of xi and yi. So what we are doing now is that we're trying to find how do we get this point or this coordinate points here, all right? So how do you go about it? Now, there are two things to keep in mind is that I said when two lines intersect, y1 is equal to what? y2. So the y1 is equal to y2. This is different from parallel lines. When it was parallel, in the previous video, I told you that it was what? M1 was equal to M2. So the M1 of this is equal to M2. And if it's perpendicular, I told you that M1 is equal to minus 1 over what? M2. So we talked about this in the previous video. But at point of intersection, Y1 is equal to what? Y2. All right? Now, there are two methods I'm going to use to talk about it here. There are two methods I'm going to use to determine the points of intersection. Methods to determine the point of intersection. All right, so I'm going to use two methods to determine points of intersection in this video series. Intersection. All right, so I'm going to use the first one I'm going to use is what is the simultaneous equation. All right. Okay, simultaneous equation method. So in this case, we just equate both of them and solve them simultaneously. And the last one I'm going to use is the formula method. All right. So like I always tell students, both methods, unless the question does not specify, you can use any method to solve, okay? So what I'm going to do, the next video, I'm going to start with the first one, simultaneous equation, and I'll round it up with the formula method, all right? So there are two methods to use to solve this. We have the simultaneous equation method and the formula method, and at point of intersection, y1 is equal to y2. So and the point they intersect is called I. So what we are trying to look out for now or find is for what? The xi and the yi. And this is different for the line that is parallel. For parallel, m1 is equal to m2. Perpendicular, m1 is equal to minus 1 over m2. So there are two different things. Is that okay? So I'm going to see you in the next video. I'm going to go straight into talking about how do we then find points of intersection using the simultaneous equation method. All right, so if you've not subscribed, please do so. And if you have any question, don't worry. The next video, I'm going to talk about each of them. So I'm going to talk about the simultaneous equation method first. then the formula method. Okay, so see you soon.